On this week's show, the In Isolation Financial Freedom Challenge, how to make money from home whilst on lockdown.
And we're going to be asking and answering all of your questions regarding property in the question and answer section. Welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. We are here every Friday at 12 p.m. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify and YouTube. Enjoy this week's show and don't forget to share with all of your friends.
Hi, I'm Russell Leeds.
I'm Alasdair Cunningham.
And welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. Again, we're back on Zoom. Again, I haven't seen Alasdair in person, which is amazing. Although he's told me lots of stories about buying a camera. You bought a camera? Something like that?
I did, yeah. I've obviously on lockdown, can't do much. So I've actually spent a little bit of money. I've ended up buying quite a few things. So I'm buying a new bike. I've just ordered a bike off the internet, and I've also ordered a camera. But John Lewis messed up completely, and I ended up with two complete cameras, and they refunded one of the price. They refunded the £699. So it's a long story. But I've ended up paying
It's a great story, though. He's only told me about 3 or 4 times so far. It's a great story.
Brilliant. So I've ended up paying like £700 for two complete cameras, so with zoom lenses and all sorts. So yeah, it's brilliant.
So he's going to give me one.
Yeah, maybe for £500. I'll sell it to you. What have you been up to then, anyway?
I've been working out quite a lot. I'm just over 2 weeks into my workout, doing an hour a day.
Cool.
So that's quite good. Yeah, really well. I feel like I'm getting fitter. I feel like, the stuff I'm doing now, I was like, wow, I wouldn't have been able to do that at the beginning. So yeah, it's going really well. I'm making the most, man. Making the most of this time.
How is Anna and the children coping with being around you for so long?
Obviously it's hard. Obviously it's difficult for them.
I can imagine it's probably driven Anna to wine. I'm sure Anna's taken to the wine to cope. So yeah.
No, because we're healthy eating as well.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, no. Unfortunately, she's got to put up with me and eat healthily, and she's working out with me as well. So we're doing the hour workout together.
Good, amazing stuff. Good.
Good though, because it holds you accountable when the other person's got to do it as well. If it's just you, I can't imagine what it'd be like being on my own trying to work out.
Yeah, it's just hard work. It's hard. What
talking about exercise?
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you want to exercise? All right. Okay. Well, we can if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, what exercises have you been doing?
What?
What more to say about it? Like, you're exercising. Okay. Wow. Great. How much weight have you lost?
I've lost 5 pounds.
So 2.2 pounds. That's 2 kilograms. Approximately 2 kilograms.
Yeah. Just over.
Yeah. Same here.
Have you? Same weight.
Well, I'm lighter than you because I'm shorter than you.
You're about 6 inches shorter than me?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah.
That's what, about maybe that, something like that.
Well, it depends. It depends. Like I know what you're like.
When I asked Alasdair, he said it was that. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
That is right, isn't it? It's 6 inches. You're 5'8".
I'm 5'8". You're 6. Yeah, you're 6'2". Yeah, so it's 6 inches. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to property.
Right, okay. So what's been going on? I can't wait. I know it's just been announced that lockdown's been extended, which we all knew that was coming anyway. But I can't wait to get out of this and actually get back to normality and get back to some sort of everyday life. However, what I did read this morning on the news is apparently only 10% of the population believe that life will return to normal.
Yeah, I saw that. When the lockdown finished, they said that they would go back to normal once lockdown finishes. So they're gonna wean themselves in.
Were you asked? Because I wasn't asked. So
I wasn't asked.
Who took the poll? Because if it's 10% of the population, they must have done a very quick survey. But I certainly didn't get that.
When they give those sort of things, I don't think they ask every single person. And actually, I think what they do is they take maybe 1,000 people. It's called a survey. It's kind of how it works.
Yeah, I know, but it's just ridiculous.
You don't agree?
No, I don't agree at all. I think life will go back to normal entirely. Like, we'll all, okay, this is what will happen, right? This is exactly what will happen. Lockdown will finish. The shops will open up again. The clubs will open up again. The bars will open up again. The cinemas will open up. The theatres will open up. And then we'll all be nice to each other for about a day. And then we'll be back to normal. That's
Okay.
the reality.
Did you see that some of the fast food chains are opening up again now?
Yes, Burger King, KFC, and McDonald's.
I don't think McDonald's is one of them.
Yeah. Three.
Was it?
Yeah, Burger
I
King.
thought Pret, Burger King,
And
KFC.
Pret. Yeah, Pret as well. But that's not fast food, is it? That's more like a coffee shop. But
Yeah, it's a mix, isn't it? It's a mix.
food.
But I think it's going to. I agree with you. I think it's going to go back to normal. It's. But will it be the same? That's the question. Will it be the same, or will it be different? Will we carry on doing our podcast over Zoom?
Okay, we're not going to do that. But life is going to go on. Life is going to go back to normal. Like, okay, yeah, there'll be some people that realize that they can work from home and do it quite efficiently. But as an employer, do you want your staff working from home because you know they're not as efficient? Like, when people we know that when staff work from home, they're not as efficient. It's just
Sure.
That's stuff I believe anyway. So.
All right, property. Anyway, so we're talking about the Samuel's obviously been doing the I can't remember what he's called it. Is it Isolation Financial Freedom Challenge?
Something along them lines. Yeah, Financial Freedom Challenge as well on lockdown.
In isolation or whatever. And basically he's gone for two sort of strategies. He's gone for deal selling and lease options. Yeah. The two sort of strategies that he thought would work. Interestingly, obviously you run. Did my legs just pop up on the screen, by the way, then, for just a second?
No, your knees did.
That's right. My knees did. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the floor. My posture. I'm not like you on a big comfy computer chair.
No.
So, deals. Now, you're obviously running a deal selling business. I know that not all your staff are working right now because it's quieting down, but you're sort of heavily involved, which probably gives you more of an insight into it as well. Into what?
Yeah, of course. So the thing is, right, when we first got wind of what was going on, like, and this is the.
When did you first get wind?
When I was first born. Now, when I first got knowledge that this was going to happen, lockdown was going to happen. We had about a week before we went into lockdown. There was rumours of it. Do you remember? Like maybe 4 weeks ago, there was rumours we were going to go into lockdown.
I remember me and you going to a restaurant together before it all happened. Maybe on like the Monday, and it happened on the Friday. It was like dead. And we went. We were working in central London. We went in. We're like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And
the staff loved us because we were probably the only one of 3 tables that were in the restaurant that day. So my point being is, so we all sort of knew it was coming. So what I instructed, and not just me, Max, one of my operations managers, what we both sort of worked on is we've done as many viewings as we could that week. We literally crammed in as many viewings we could get in that week so that we viewed the property and then we could work on them. So as a result, we've actually got like a little bit of a bank of properties that we've viewed, we've done the due diligence, or we've viewed, and now we've done the due diligence on, and we can still actually sell. So the first week in lockdown, I think we sold 2 deals. Last week we didn't sell any, I don't think. But this week we've managed to sell 2 deals, and we've taken on an investor for a sourcing agreement as well. So like we're still working, we're still making money. Investors are still investing. People are still buying. I'm in the middle of buying a house. I should be completing on a house. I was supposed to be completing on a house this week, but I've delayed it by a couple of weeks just because I don't want to complete on it and then it sit empty. I want to complete on it and get my build team straight in there. So I'm going to delay it a week or 2.
You can still build construction is one of the only things, interestingly. Like, we're still doing our Lincoln stuff. We're still doing our castle. It's one of the things that the government have gone, you can still do that.
Yeah, the biggest problem though is, for me, for this property I'm buying, it wouldn't matter because it's going to take them a week to rip it out. So they could literally go in and spend a week ripping it out and do all that sort of stuff. But I'm just going to delay it a week or 2. We're still going to buy it. We're just using the coronavirus as a little bit of a...
it makes sense to complete later. But do you think it's interesting that construction and development has just carried on as normal, pretty much?
Yeah, yes, it has. Like, for instance, near where I live, there's a big set of, probably a massive development of flats going up. I don't know how many flats, hundreds. But that's not stopped. Like, every
No.
day there's workmen on site. They're very close to each other, so that there's cranes. Life is going on in that aspect.
And what do you think that's because so many big construction development firms and there's so much money involved, and the government are obviously involved in stuff as well to a point. They're kind of like, do you think it's a little bit? Do you think they're being a bit of hypocrites, really, letting that? It's like, is that really essential? Really, to finish building a house, is that essential?
Yeah, I've told you, I've said since day one on this whole thing that there's a lot more to this than we're getting told. There's a lot.
It's kind of like they're very happy for other businesses to go bust, but they're like, construction stuff that we're involved with, stuff that that stays. That's okay. Builders working together and passing metal tools across to each other and that have got potentially coronavirus on. That's fine. But the restaurant business, no. Do you know what I mean? Do you think there's a little bit of a...
Yeah, I do think that's hypocritical they are. I also think, listen, there's many things that are not correct. I don't believe we're getting anywhere near that. We're not even getting a 10% of the real picture of what's going on here. I believe there's a lot more going on than what we're being led to believe. And whether you believe in all conspiracies or not is entirely up to you. I'm not saying I do. I just don't think it's entirely what we're being told by the media to believe.
To be honest, I find this very hard to kind of debate with people, because the truth is I just don't know.
I don't know.
People will come up to me and they'll say, like this conspiracy. And I'm not. Well, I don't know. I'm not. I haven't got inside information from
Do you know what I love about conspiracy theorists? Right.
What?
They all go on about how they've got the inside knowledge. They all talk about how the information they've got that's it. That's the information, right? Yeah. I'm like, well, where did you get that? Well, I got it off a conspiracy website. Okay, you got it off a conspiracy website. A website that some fat dude in his basement with a tin hat on started. Yeah. Come on, talk about the source of the information. It's just... You can't argue with people. You can't debate with people that believe in all the people that believe in this 5G. You can't argue with them because they're so in their head that they're right that they won't. They're not open to logical debate. And it's just.
But can you even logically debate it? This is the thing. I was talking to someone about it, and I was sort of saying it doesn't quite add up, and they were like, "Well, no, because of the government. These are the stats." And I'm like, "Yeah." Says who? The media? I mean, I've seen the media lie firsthand, seen the media outright lie about stuff that they know isn't the case. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure about that. It's. But then, if you can't trust the stats, to me, it doesn't quite. I don't know what's going on. I believe there is coronavirus. I believe that people are dying. I believe all that, but it doesn't quite add up.
Yeah, for me. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I think there's something more to it.
I agree.
More to it. I'm not saying it doesn't. Of course, I believe it exists. It's horrific.
Now, do I know what that is? No. Do I have any proof of that? No. Do I believe the conspiracy theories? No, not really. It doesn't quite add up.
Yeah, and the thing is, the conspiracy theorists, all these, they believe they're so right. But like I say, the source of information has come from a conspiracy website. Do you know what I mean? It's
I don't believe all the stuff about personally. I mean, it might be true. I don't know, but I don't personally believe that the government, with the 5G stuff, that the government are just trying to kill us, and they're trying. I don't believe all that sort of stuff. But
do you know?
I do believe. This is the thing. I do believe that they make decisions for money and for power.
Yeah,
and it's a kind of yeah. Anyway.
Moving on. Let's move on.
That was the conspiracy theory section of the podcast.
Yeah.
If you've got any thoughts on that, comment below. Let's hear your wildest conspiracy theories, and we can debate them.
We're not interested. Keep your tin hat on and keep your conspiracy theories to yourself.
So obviously, I'm still doing the stuff I was doing anyway with the development stuff. That's kind of still going ahead whilst on lockdown. Great. You are still doing your deal selling. You're still making money from that. I mean, not quite to the same extent. It has dipped, but you're still doing it.
Massively dipped, yeah. But we're doing what we've got to do. And that. But obviously, Samuel's dabbled.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Samuel's challenge. So, sorry, am I being a bit jumpy and excitable today, or is that just normal?
Go. Fine, good.
So, Samuel's challenge is starting from scratch, basically. He can't really leave his house. He can't go on viewings. He can't go to networking events. A lot of the stuff that we teach you to do, he can't do. And he's set with the challenge of making money. He's released a video. I'd definitely go and check it out. It's only about 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of, there's 2 or 3 videos about it. But the good thing, I can't remember what he set the rules to be, whether it was to become financially free or just to make money. But certainly he done it from a complete standing start, like 0 investors, 0 deals, and zero business. So what he had to do was he had to literally create the business. He had to go out and find the investors, and he done that using social media advertising. And he built, I think it's in one of the videos, I believe it cost him about £150, and he built a database of about 200 investors, 200 people that said, yeah, I'm interested in some deals. If you've got any, show me them. And then he done the same sort of advertising for people that had property deals to sell. So I don't know how he done all the viewings and all that sort of stuff. I've not really spoken to Samuel about that. But
he didn't do the viewings. I think what he did is he looked for he made offers on properties subject to a survey.
Right, and then so it's all subjective to the surveyor going out.
Yeah, so he'd find a good deal that stacked up. He'd look at the videos, if they could do one, or the photographs or whatever. He'd do as much due diligence as he could from home. He would then ring them up, put an offer on subject to a survey. Because surveyors are still going out and working.
They are, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I was speaking to a surveyor yesterday about this.
So he put an offer on subject to the survey. Then, at that point, once he would then sell the deal, and again, it would be, look, it's subject to the survey.
He obviously had it in terms, he had terms and conditions with the person that bought the deal saying the property is subject to a survey. So the finder's fee, which was paid, is refundable, subject to the survey. If the survey comes back and says, no, the roof's hanging off, then obviously that finder's fee is returnable.
Sure. But I think one of the ones he actually sold had already had a survey done.
Oh, had it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That was even better.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting because I would have said, if you'd said, I would have said before he even told me his plan or anything, if you'd have said, can you do deal sourcing from a laptop at home without going out? I'd have just been like, no.
Yeah. Well, I would too, but like, you don't have to, listen, I'm all for viewing properties, of course. But it doesn't have to be you that views them, because sometimes you're not the best person to view the property. So
but right now, no one's viewing them.
Okay. But from an investor's point of view, like I've got investors from all over the world. I've got an investor from like Hong Kong who's bought 5-6 deals off me. They've been to the UK years ago, but they've never come and viewed the properties. They're trusting that we viewed them. So you can buy properties without viewing them. I bought a house without even seeing it. A completely blind house, but I don't need to be. I just sent somebody in. So I sent a surveyor in. He gave me the analysis, and that's it. I don't need to go and see what colour doors it's got, what colour. I don't care about that. I sent a surveyor in who gave me a full structural report and a full report of the building. I'm an investor. I invested money, I invested into that house, buying the house, knowing that I'm going to get a survey done. The surveyor is going to come out. He's going to do all the nitty gritty viewing of it. I'm then going to get them to a specialist who's going to draw up the new floor plans. Then we're going to get a builder in to do the work, and then we're going to rent it out. So from an investment point of view, I agree. Normally, it's always nice to look at the properties, but real investors don't worry too much about that. Like, do you think name a really successful, well-known investor that's got multiple houses? Like name one. I don't
know. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, do you think he views houses? No.
Probably not.
He's president now, so he wouldn't be. But I'm talking about like even like Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki. They got thousands. They'll buy houses and they'll get surveyors to do the viewings for them. So you don't. I don't know why people have got this in their head that because they're buying it, they have to view it. It's just.
I suppose it's because they're putting in quite a lot of money and they just want to make sure they're not buying a lemon.
That's emotional. But you're not going to buy a lemon because you get a surveyor to go and look at it.
Yeah, you get a surveyor to look at it. Like, it's not like you're going to go to an auction and buy it without even getting a surveyor or viewing it.
Let me just be super, super clear. I am not saying you can buy property without even seeing it. All I'm saying is it doesn't have to be the person buying it that sees it. If you're an investor and you're investing money, then you're investing money into something to get a return out of it. So really,
there you go. You heard it here first, Alasdair. You do not have to get a property viewed before you buy it.
Yeah.
That was a quote by you.
Quote, right, pal.
Yeah, take one thing from this podcast. Take that. Okay. Just buy houses off Rightmove. Don't even need to bother viewing. Is that what you said?
What I'm saying, douchebag. What I'm saying is it doesn't have to be you viewing it, but you get somebody who's good at it, who's a professional to do it, get them to do it for you. Like, it's nonsensical. If you're a serious investor and you're buying lots of houses for you to go view every property, because that's not what an investor does. An investor invests, gets the right professional services in to do the work, and then sits back and gets the return. That's what an investor does. That's the right way to invest. Like, if you're a very small time investor, maybe 1 or 2 houses, then that's different. But if you're a serious investor, a professional investor that's full time, it's idiotic. It's just not going to happen. It's like, let's go back to my old industry. I worked in the bus and coach industry, right? Now, I used to deal with coach companies that have got hundreds of coaches, like hundreds. Like buses, coaches. I had one company that I used to do maintenance for that had 45 to 50 vehicles. But they were always buying and changing their fleet. But the owner of the business never went to view the vehicles when they were buying them. She just sent somebody who knew what spec they were looking for. She sent somebody that knew what to look for. Do you know what I mean? She's an investor. She has a business. She invests. She gets money at the end of it. Same thing. Property is a business. You invest, get the right professional teams, the right professional services to go out and do the work. Then you sit back, get the returns. That's my take on it.
Good take. Good take. Now, the other thing that Samuel sold a couple of deals, and he also managed to secure what we call a lease option agreement as well.
He did. Yeah, absolutely.
So for anyone that doesn't know, do you want to very quickly explain what a lease option is?
A lease option agreement, think of it like a car. Like you go to BMW and you buy a new BMW. You pay a small deposit, or sometimes you don't pay any deposit, and then you pay a monthly premium, and then at the end of it, you have the option to buy it, or you have the option to give it back. That's on a PCP, so it's very much like a PCP hire purchase on a car. Same thing, but it's just with the house. So you buy a house now. According to Samuel, did you see this in his? Do you know how? I'm just going to find it very quickly. Do you know how he gets criticised a lot by saying, when he says, "Oh, I bought a house for no money," and people say, or no money down deal, people say, "No, you've not bought a house." So he actually got the Oxford Dictionary of what the word buy means.
This video is not clickbait. I really am a millionaire. I really am at home. I really did buy a property with no money from scratch in lockdown. By the definition of buy, because some people will say it's actually a lease option, therefore you didn't buy it, you obtained it, controlled it, got cash flow from it, but you don't have the title deeds. This is the Oxford.com definition of buy. It says to acquire the possession of or right to buy by paying or promising to pay an equivalent, especially in money.
So there you go. So he's buying a property. He's basically agreeing to buy. Now he's taking ownership for it. The car analogy is a brilliant one. You're a genius coming up with that. Genius, I tell you.
Actually, you came up with that. I think.
Was that me? No wonder it was so genius. I was surprised.
Copied it from you, but basically, it's no different. Like, you take a house, you agree how much you're going to pay up front. If you're going to pay anything, you might agree to pay nothing up front. I've got lease option agreements that I literally paid nothing up front for. There's no deposits. One of my lease option agreements, I actually negotiated 6 months of no lease payments on a monthly basis. So I took the property in, it was June or July time. I didn't start paying for that until end of January. Do you know what I mean? All I had to do was pay the legal fees at the time. So it wasn't a no money down deal. It was a very low money down deal, but that property makes £1,300 to £1,400 income per month. Obviously, I've got costs to come off that, but it makes an income of £1,300 to £1,400 every month.
And Samuel obviously used some of the deal selling money to pay for it. So he started literally on lockdown, can't leave the house, no money to use. Although I don't think that was one of the rules. I think he could spend a bit of money. I think it was just to, but
yeah. Well, he spent a couple £100 on adverts, Facebook adverts, things like that. So it wasn't a complete no money down deal, but
he made a few thousands of pounds, and lease option, which is making a monthly income off, and then got the option for potentially, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen to the market, but potentially a very good BMV deal in 5 years' time.
100%. But listen, a lot of people will say they haven't got the £150 to go out and do Facebook ads. But listen, he done 150 odd pounds worth of Facebook adverts. From that, he managed to package and sell a deal which was £3,000 plus VAT. Look at the return on investment on that. Like, find a way. Come on. Stop using excuses of, I haven't got any money. Like, you don't need loads of money to profit from property. You just need the right knowledge, you need the right experience, and you need the right implementation. And just to do it, instead of sat on your ass doing nothing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
You said that before as well. No, but do you know what I like about you when people say to me, I get this all the time. I've had it on some YouTube videos I just done recently saying, like, losers saying there's no such thing as a no money down deal. And I'm like, well, yeah, for you there's not, because you've got a broke mindset. Now, I actually replied to that and I said, well, yeah, for you, you're right. You cannot do a no money down deal because of this. But I know plenty of people that are doing. And then you always sum this up quite well. You asked me, I asked you this once, is like, really, does no money down exist? And he says, well, Russell said to me, well, can you start a business for no money? That's what you say, don't you? You always say, you can start a business with no money. You can start a business by borrowing money or by getting a credit card. So why can't you start something in property? Because property is just a business at the end of the day. So,
very true. Very true.
So what did you think of the challenge? Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was amazing, yeah. I thought the video was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Really good. It just goes to show that there's no excuse for people. I don't believe there's an excuse for people. I think people's excuses are up here. They just need to get rid of them, and they need to stop using whatever's holding them back as an excuse for being unsuccessful and not getting the success they deserve. It's just ridiculous, really. You're getting uncomfortable.
Man, my back is killing me.
So, what next? What do you think?
So I think that we've got another 3 weeks now. So I would challenge anyone watching this that's wanting to get into property, use this time. If you want to start setting up your deal selling business or whatever, use this time. Now you've got 3 weeks of just sitting at home on your ass watching Netflix. Just use the time wisely and get started, be inspired, watch the video, see if you can go and create it again.
Of course, yeah. And a thing we're doing for our Academy members at the minute. So if you're an Academy member and you're watching this and you've not done it already, you need to do this. We're giving everyone one-to-one opportunities with any of the trainers. So if you want some additional help, some additional support, somebody just to help motivate you, just to kick your butt a little bit and get you off your ass, drop me an email, alasdair@samuelleeds.com, but only for Academy members, and we'll get them scheduled in. So we're doing 30-minute to an hour Zoom calls, just one-to-one, and we're working directly with you and on your business to try and help you grow it. So that's what I've really enjoyed doing that, because a lot of the Academy members are all feeling a lot of support at the minute. They're loving it. And they're really enjoying getting the one-to-one sessions. So again, if you're an Academy member, drop me an email. We'll get that scheduled if you're watching this.
Amazing. Right, it's now time for this.
Okay, guys, on this week's question and answer session, we've got a bombardment of questions this week. So we're going to do quite a few to give you guys as much help as possible. So I'm going to take the questions because they're on my phone. This is from Michael Davies, and he says, for lease option agreements, does it only work if the seller is on an interest-only mortgage? Probably no margin in it if they're on a repayment. Okay, it works better that way, because obviously if it's interest-only, the mortgage payments are lower, so you'd have to pay a lesser amount. You can ask them to move from a repayment to interest-only, but obviously that's not always, they might not want to do that. The preferred option is interest-only. And if you can get it to stack up on a repayment mortgage, perhaps if you can make it into a HMO, get more income, then that would work also. So I hope that answers your question. Right. My phone just locked, sorry. Okay, this is from Jack Huntington. Best strategy to start with £0 on my own money whilst in lockdown. Dude, we've just been talking about it. Watch Samuel's Financial Freedom Challenge. He literally started with next to nothing, £150 he's done for Facebook ads. If you haven't got that sort of money, maybe find somebody that has, joint venture with them, and use whatever you can to get some adverts out there and start promoting yourself.
All right.
Learn as much as possible.
John Bostinu. All right, we're both going to answer this at the same time, see if you have the same answer. What is the best strategy now? Thank you. You ready on 3?
Okay.
Last time I did this with you, I think you just said property investing, and it's like, no, you idiot.
Go on.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So on 3. 1, 2, 3. Lease options. What, right now?
Yes.
But we don't know what's going to happen to the
lease options is great, 100%. I think if you can do a lease option on a buy refurb refinance, even better. Like a lease option with a buy, yeah, of course, mate. But I think buy refurbish refinance at the minute, because you can get bargains at the minute.
Yeah, but we don't know when they're going to go back up.
Well, I know, but it just means you have to set your money in. Your money has to sit there a bit longer. So
what if you're bridging?
But for me, it's my favoured.
What if you're bridging?
All right, maybe I'm wrong, but for me, it's my favoured. I've just done I'm literally about to complete on one, because obviously the numbers are so good. But the deal's back up.
I'm just about to finish one right now. 6 houses that we've built, and I'm sort of thinking, this could be a bit of a nightmare to sell.
Yeah, maybe, but you're selling them. You're not refinancing.
Okay, this could be a bit of a nightmare to refinance right now.
It won't be. There's not a lack of money. They're still giving buy-to-let mortgages. They're just being a bit more picky, but they're still getting buy-to-let. I've just secured finance, right, on a property for an investor, where instead of getting 70% loan to value, he's getting 65%, and he's getting all of the development financed. Do you know what I mean? So that's mid-lockdown. So there's still finance out there. I'm not saying it's easy, but there's still finance out there, and there's not a lack of money. This is not 2008 where there's no money. There's not a lack of money. There's lots of money around. So I think lease option, buy refurbish are the best ways. The two best things at the minute. At lease options, if you can get them. But I just think if you can combine lease option with some sort of development, even better.
I've got a question directly for you.
Go on.
Is the Russian mafia paying their rent in your HMO? I struggled to get the rent from mine.
Oh, that was it was Latvian. No, it wasn't Latvian. Albanian. It was an Albanian guy. Do you remember I told you about that when I was out one night in a bar and I got chatting to some guy. I was in the casino. Got chatting to some guy, and he turned out to be an Albanian pimp, and he was looking to rent houses for the rooms, because he wanted to rent them out room by room.
Oh yeah,
remember that? Yeah, no, I never done anything. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
Why were you chatting to an Albanian pimp?
Oh no, I was just at the bar, and he started talking to me, and I'm a friendly guy, so he started chatting to me. So I chatted to him. It was when I was ordering a drink. I was there with a friend. We were both ordering drinks. He started talking to me. And then he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm in property." And he goes, "Oh, I'm looking to rent some houses." And I said, "Okay, where?" And he goes, "Anywhere in the country, and I'll pay double the going."
And then did you say, "Oh, I'm in property. What do you do?" He said, "Oh, pimp."
It was obvious when he told me what he wanted the rooms for. It was obvious, dude. I'm not. This is not my first. This is not my
first encounter with a pimp.
Just move on. No, it's not that at all. No, but I'm 38 years old, man. Christ.
Kyle Ginn, how can we be sourcing in this climate? I can't think we've covered that on the show.
Yeah, we have, absolutely.
How much do you think property will drop in the next few months?
That's a difficult one. That is a difficult one. I'm sort of working all my end values out on 20% less. Minimum 20% really, but I think it will recover. I think we'll be back to normal.
I think it will recover.
Christmas. Okay. Christoph Miko. How much property you've already done that. Sorry, that was one you just done. How much property will drop in the next few months, and where is the good place to invest right now? Good place to invest right now is in the UK. It depends. It depends what you're looking for. At the minute, I would only be investing in deals that 100% stack up in your head, and the numbers are very, very, very good. I wouldn't be investing in anything that's very touch and go on the end value. So, for instance, I'm buying a deal at the minute. I'm buying it for 200,000. and it was valued 2 Fridays ago. It was valued, and the valuation is valid for 12 months, I believe, and it was valued, done up by was 340,000. So there's there's £140,000 of cushion there. Now I've got refurb to do, and I've got costs and all that sort of stuff. So, but my point being is, if I was buying that house at 200,000 and knowing I've got to put 45 to 50,000 pound into refurb, if in the end value was only like 260, to me I wouldn't. I know I'd be leaving a lot of money in the deal, so I wouldn't do it. But on this deal, £200,000 end value is 340. Again, it's been valued 2 weeks ago in this situation, and they're happy with that valuation. Then that's fine. There's loads and loads and loads of profit and cushion in the deal. But only buy deals, doesn't matter what the area is, only buy deals where you know you've got plenty of cushion. Here's a good one from Aaron Howard. I'm a council tenant going through our right to buy. You get 31% discount, which is great, but we can't sell or refinance for 5 years. Does this mean we can't get a buy-to-let mortgage in 5 years either, or will that not matter? I want to get a buy-to-let as early as possible after buying the house. Aaron, I've actually done a council right to buy. It was my first ever property purchase, and we got the similar sort of discount. Yes, you're right. You're not allowed to do anything with it for 5 years, and you're not allowed to rent it out. Certainly, let me talk about my experience. I wasn't allowed to rent it out because I was in Bedfordshire. I don't know if the rules changed council to council, but I would speak to them and find out. I assume you mean you want to get a buy-to-let for an additional property on top of the one that you live in. If that's the case, then there should be nothing stopping you. I think just because you bought a council right to buy shouldn't stop you getting a buy-to-let mortgage. Speak to a good broker, tell them your situation, and take it from there. I think that's really it.
All right, last one then. Lee Bernard. Will buy-to-let once again become a safe haven amongst investors during all this uncertainty?
Yes.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Well,
yes,
why wouldn't it? I can't. Okay, I'm not.
Will it become a safe haven? I think he means rather than people trying to do clever things like rent to rent, will that people be like, oh, let's just do buy-to-let because there's so much uncertainty?
Yeah. Listen. During this, what we've realised is people that like rent to rent's obviously been hit really hard, service accommodation in particular. But the people that
have you been hit really hard?
Not recently.
What? I meant.
What? You mean?
I meant with this whole crisis. What are you talking about?
I thought you were talking about like somebody punched me.
No.
For a smart ass comment, but anyway. Right. Okay. So during this crisis, obviously rent to rent's had a bit of a hit. Now the people that will get through this are the people that treated their rent to rent as a business, and they didn't just spend all the money. Do you know what I mean? So I think rent to rent's still going to be around, but the actual people that treated it and run it properly like a business will be fine. I think the people that treated it like a little bit of a side hustle, and every time they got money, they spent it or whatever, they'll be the ones really, really struggling. So to answer your question, is buy-to-let going to be a safe haven? I think it's going to be the preferred option for a lot of investors for the foreseeable. But I do think it's safe for any investors because the coronavirus or not, it does not get us around the fact that we still live on an island. We still have lots. I think our net migration to the UK every year is 200,000. So there's 200,000 people every year coming to the UK. They all need somewhere to live. The government can't keep up with the house building demands. So of course, buy-to-let is still going to be a business. Of course it is. Listen, buy-to-let property has been profitable for thousands of years. It's not going to suddenly die because we've had a virus. We had viruses in the 80s with AIDS. Like, do you remember what happened with AIDS? AIDS was a very similar thing. The country shut down until they created a vaccine. We recovered.
Hold on a sec. The country shut down until they created a vaccine for AIDS.
No, not created a vaccine, but the country shut down. Then they created a vaccine, and it was all good. But it didn't shut down. But it went into.
I don't remember. I wasn't born.
Well, neither do I. But my dad was telling me the other day.
Whatever.
Yeah, to be honest. But my dad was talking to me the other day because he was just sort of not. My dad's very much like, well, listen, we've been here before, so like. It's not new. Like it's new to the new generation. They've never experienced it before. But yeah, of course things will recover.
Millennials, like me and you.
Yeah.
You are the first generation of millennials, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
You're a first generation millennial.
But I might be a millennial, but like I wrongly, well, not wrongly, like a lot of people today are not, how can I say this without offending half of our audience? There's a lot of snowflakes around. There's a lot of.
But do you know that millennial?
I'm definitely not a snowflake, and I know you're not. So.
Yeah, but there's one after millennial, isn't there?
Is there?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I was born in 1982, so I'm 30.
There's Generation Z.
Oh, is that anyone born in the no? Isn't it the noughties? Like generations. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't care. Just listen. Property will go on. Like, forget about where you were born. Forget about property will go on. Just like it went on after every epidemic that's happened in the last 50 years. And then, believe me, there's going to be more of this. If you listen to conspiracy theorists, there's definitely going to be more of this. So, guys, on that note, on that bombshell.
Well, there you go. Well, thanks ever so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. If you've got any questions for us, you want us to answer, please comment below. Do not forget to subscribe. We're back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere for several weeks. Guys, be safe. Keep doing whatever you got to do. Don't sit on your ass watching Netflix, because that ain't going to get you anywhere.